to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United States Air Force. From this gathering was born the Heritage Flight, a unique visual representation of the Air Force's history from the days of the Army Air Force to the present. As we now celebrate what started out as a one-time event, Heritage Flights are performed at air shows and special events in the United States and around the world. It is my pleasure to describe for you this afternoon, United States Air Force Heritage Flight. Piloted by Mr. Dan Friedkin, a Vietnam-era F-4 Phantom piloted by Major Wayne Chitmon, and the United States Air Force A-10 Thunderbolt II, piloted by Major Dylan Thorpe. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left, your United States Air Force Heritage Flight. To all military veterans in attendance, whose sacrifices over the years have helped preserve America's freedom. We hope you've enjoyed watching this rare formation of classic and current Air Force aircraft. At nearly 60 years of Air Force heritage. And to all military veterans, we thank you. conducted by Mr. Dan Friedkin. Thunderbolt to provide top cover for Dan Friedkin's Mustang as he rolls out and gets ready for the taxiway. Let me tell you about that song. You hear it once and you remember it forever. You hear it twice and it becomes infectious. There is a great story behind that song. It is composed and sung by Dwayne O'Brien, a member of the Little Texas Band. And the story goes like this. Dwayne O'Brien had a weekend off. He went to a commemorative air show, commemorative Air Force air show in Texas. Excuse me, that was uncalled for. I didn't flinch quick enough. He enjoyed the show so much. He enjoyed what American citizens had done by preserving the World War II aircraft that he composed that song. Dwayne O'Brien of the Little Texas Band has an album called Flight Songs, and that particular song is called Keep 'Em Flying. Now he said, I am so impressed with what you have done as American citizens with no government help. I give you that song. There's no copyright on it. You can download it, you can use it. Now that was before the Heritage Flight was a reality in 1997. It's been used in commemorative Air Force shows, Yankee Air Force shows since that time. And then it was adapted to the Heritage Flight. So if you want to download that, you won't be pirating anybody. Dwayne O'Brien said, that is the gift that I can give. My talent given to you people that keep with your private dollars, with your fundraising, with your volunteer effort, you keep these aircraft in the air. So again, the author, the writer, and the singer, Dwayne O'Brien, that song, Keep 'Em Flying, you can download that. That belongs to you. The album is called Flight Songs. Well, look at the difference in technology. Dan Friedkin from Texas with the P-51 propeller-driven Mustang.
yellow and black checkers, and then with the drogue chute, the F4 Phantom of the Vietnam era. Now we'll tell you about the F4 Phantom. We've talked a lot about the Mustang with the Tuskegee Airman aircraft. If you look at the F4, you can see that it has a crew of two, a pilot and a REO or a wizard, depending on whether it was used by the Air Force or the Navy. Now, the distinction of the F4 that first flew May 27, 1958, its very first flight was out of the Mac Air facility, McDowell Brothers Air in St. Louis, Missouri. Remember, this was the late 50s, and as the people saw this fly for the first time, that being the F4 with a drogue chute on it, they looked at it and said, it looks as though somebody has stepped all over the blueprints. Now I've got to explain to you what blueprints are. Folks, it's like a payphone. It's out of the past, but that's the way we used to design aircraft. The reason why the wingtips were bent up, the tail is swooping down, is angled down, and that's the reason they said this has got to be a mistake. It wasn't the only airplane. That airplane with a drogue chute in the Vietnam era had one Air Force 8 and one Navy 8, and that airplane produced each one of them. These are the one Mustang, then the F4 Phantom. The Navy hit was Chitmon with 5 kills along with his radar intercept officer, Irish Crystal. The Air Force had 1-8 using the F4. That was retired Brigadier General Steve Ritchie, both using the F4. And there has been only one time in the history of the United States Air Force Thunderbird and the United States Navy Blue Angel that they